Greetings, everyone. Welcome back. It's time for, once again, the news of the squared.
Of the squared.
Goofy news
Now-
for your funny bones.
Now on Google Play and iTunes.
Yep.
And Spotify.
And Podbean.
And YouTube.
And Anchor.
Yeah.
And YouTube. Okay,
We're
well, there's a lot of places you can find us now.
We're everywhere.
Yeah, we're just about close to everywhere. I think the only thing we're missing is Spreaker, and those guys would pay us money. We should actually look at Spreaker. Anyway, well, that's another conversation. Let's get to news you can use and news you can't. So, I do have something we can start with. I kind of saved this from the Squares show, because I thought this would be a good thing to lead off with here. So, KFC is testing a new chicken sandwich.
Oh, the chicken sandwich wars have escalated.
Well, when you say escalated, they've really escalated.
Is it green?
It's a chicken sandwich, and the buns are donuts.
Oh, man.
I know. I'm like, oh, no, that's a bad idea.
Oh, no.
Donuts.
So I'm looking at a picture. It's basically a fried chicken breast in between two glazed donuts.
Oh, my God. Dear Lord.
Customers have two options: a chicken and donut basket meal for $5.49, which includes chicken tenders or a bone-in chicken plus a donut, or a chicken sandwich for $5.99, featuring a chicken patty between two donut buns. The much more exciting option. If you just want the donut, you can add $1 to a meal.
I'd have to see how good their donuts are.
So it's only available in Norfolk, Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, and Pittsburgh.
Test marketing.
They're test marketing. It's only test marketing. But I'm curious. Would anybody do it?
I'd try it.
Would you?
Well, it's like chicken and waffles. You know, you sweet with the salty.
Is it?
Well, why don't they just make a chicken and waffle sandwich?
Right. That would be my question.
Right. Because everybody has had chicken and waffles. Why not make a chicken and waffle sandwich?
In fairness, it's probably easier to get the donuts.
Now I want to eat a donut right now.
I know.
I've already sucked down on 3 Entenmann donuts already.
Wow, this is not exactly... I mean, I'm looking at the picture. There's a part of me where I'm like, no way. And then there's another part of me where I'm like, well, if I was drunk enough, if I needed to suck up some serious alcohol, this would be...
I want to try it.
See, that's the problem. The problem is that this is the kind of thing that after you've gone out drinking for the night, if this was available at 1 in the morning, yes.
That's something I tried.
Yes. But this is not going to be available at 1 in the morning because KFC's never open at 1 in the morning. Which is the problem with Panda Express, too, because that would be perfect at 1 in the morning. Crappy Chinese food at 1 in the morning is an awesome idea. But okay, so Ivan, are you in for the donut chicken sandwich?
I give it a try, just for the sake of trying it. Yeah.
I'd have to be drunk. I'd have to be drunk. There's just no other way I could do that. And look myself out in the eye in the morning.
I mean, here it is. This is the guy you're talking to that likes pineapple on pizza. So I could do a donut on chicken. I could try that.
That's see, to me that has nothing to do with it. I'm just looking at this thing going, that my cholesterol level went up 3 levels. I mean, seriously. I mean, I'm just like looking at this going, this is how I die.
Yeah, I remember like when Burger King put out that one breakfast sandwich, and it was like 790 calories.
Well, that's nothing. There's the what's the burger? There's somebody who's got a burger that's almost like your entire like caloric intake for the
2,000 calories.
Yeah, some insane thing like that you're like, oh my god.
Well, I don't know if they would have learned from the failures of McDonald's, who way in the beginning, before they had fish sandwiches, they came up with a pineapple sandwich.
It's funny. Today that would work.
Probably.
Today that would work. People would buy that today.
Yeah, I could see that.
Today people would buy that. Especially if like the buns were like a pound cake bun or something like that. Or actually, there's where, you know what? 2 donuts.
Or an artist. Yes. Or an
donuts.
artisan. Yeah, 2 donuts.
2 donuts with a grilled piece of pineapple, or 1 donut sliced in half with the pineapple in between. That might work. That's the other thing too. It's 2 full donuts. We're not talking about, okay, they sliced the donut in half.
So you get 2 pounding donuts in with this chicken sandwich.
Right, it's donut, chicken sandwich, donut.
And do they add anything in between the donuts? I mean,
I don't see anything in between.
Doesn't look like anything in between.
Tomato? Is there like a secret sauce?
I'm not seeing anything in between. In fairness, I don't know that I'd want anything in between.
Yeah, you don't want mayonnaise in there? Oh my god!
I don't know about that.
With the donuts? No.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe. Now, in fairness, I could see if you sat there and said to me, Ivan, about adding bacon. That I could see. Or maybe like a maple syrup kind of glaze. But the problem is with the glaze of the donuts, you really don't need it.
No.
Okay, because now you're looking at the idea of the McGriddle from McDonald's, where they have the sweet with the salty, where you get the consistency of the sausage patty, but yet you get the sweetness, the maple syrup sweetness of the bun. Mm-hmm. So that I mean, it's really not too far fetched now that you look at it from that view. So
I just feel like that's not nearly as horrible as. I don't know why that seems not nearly as horrible. Now that you say that, I'll never eat that thing again. Thank you, Ivan.
But it's true,
now
though.
I'm never going to eat that thing again. Now I will never look at it the same way. Between that and this stupid Bulls logo that if I turn, now I see upside down is some robot fucking a crab, and it's like, you all suck. I can't get that out of my brain. It's horrible. Do you understand how much this scars my childhood? My entire,
Let me tell you about your childhood being scarred.
Oh my god. It's like it's funny because it's like, as much as I talk about football and stuff, it's like, oh, if the Bulls were even close to anything like that, they weren't horrible. I mean, you guys see me, I bitch about the Bulls all the time, but it's like now this is just no. This is on top of all the other horrible. It's like, this is worse. Anyway, all right, Mike, what do you got? We've mentioned it enough. I don't even want. I know.
Speaking of things that are ruined, for anybody with a sweet tooth who is completely over traditional candy canes, there's a new flavor hitting store shelves ahead of the holidays that will really give your taste buds a kick, or just make you gag. Now, we are recording this on the first day of fall, so fall is here, and with fall comes sometimes the holiday stuff. Archie McPhee, a novelty candy and funny toy emporium, is getting into the holiday spirit early, like really, really early this year. Last year, the Seattle-based company caused an uproar on social media with its mac and cheese candy canes, but clearly that wasn't enough. In 2019, it's got something far worse than coal for all the naughty girls and boys out there. Meet the world's first kale-flavored candy canes.
Oh, come on.
Fuck no.
Come on.
No.
When it came time for us to make a candy cane, we opted for the superfood kale. While this candy cane might not have the nutritional value of actual kale, it does share the delicious flavor we've all come to love.
Wait, stop.
So it has no nutritional value,
right,
but it tastes like kale.
Stop right there. Stop right there. That's just me.
That's just bullshit. It is.
It's for people who love the taste of kale.
You
but they
straight
get
to
no nutritional value from the kale.
Right, if you don't get nutritional value, you're going straight to hell.
Okay.
You go straight to hell. You do not pass go. You do not collect $200. You go to hell for something like that. And you're going to make me have kale flavor. At least give me the nutritional value. No. Hell no. What the hell is that about?
It's called cock teasing, is what it is.
Not even that. It's like, I mean, at least my one thought I had was, well, at least if I looked at my trainer and I pulled out one of these things, I'd be like, it's kale. At least it's good for me. No, I can't even do that now.
That because now you will be shamed. Shamed.
Right.
Wall vouched for the quirky canes actually boasting a flavor that's sweet, grassy, and with a bit of bitter note.
Oh, God.
He added that consumers shouldn't be fooled by the minty-looking hue of the new candy, however. We do want to warn people that the green color of the candy cane might lead someone to believe that it has a minty flavor. We wouldn't want anyone to be fooled into eating one accidentally, he said.
There's going to be a lot of pissed off people thinking they're going to get a peppermint or a spearmint flavored candy cane, and then they got this shitty.
You know, I got to tell you, this has Office Prank written all over it.
Has what now?
This is Office Prank written all over it.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, boy, free candy canes.
You know what?
This is candy canes you buy for
people
you hate.
You know what would be great, Mike? If you had a bowl of these sitting out, and it was, please take one for free at Ace. And then you had a camera, and you watched the people when they ate it.
With the expressions on their faces.
Expressions on their faces. That would be
hysterical.
Amazing.
That would be so hysterical.
You leave it in the break room.
Put it this way, candy canes for people that you can't stand.
Yes. I'm telling you, it would be the ultimate prank. I swear to God. That's a great. This is a. I got news for you. There's a Toastmaster event here somewhere along the lines. It's like I can print these out for the holidays and be like, here you go.
If the release of the veggie canes wasn't enough to get people rolling with laughter or disgust, Archie McPhee also launched 2 more cringeworthy flavors this year.
Uh-oh.
Pizza-flavored candy canes.
That's not that cringeworthy.
And ham. The latter of which the company has dubbed Hamdy Canes.
I'm sick just thinking about that idea.
Now, if they made a bacon-flavored candy cane, I might just do that.
You know, pizza doesn't bother me. Pizza would, you know what? A pizza-flavored candy cane I could live with.
I mean, pizza is entertaining. At least it sounds relatively tasty.
Yes. Yeah, that would be unique and interesting. But ham, just you telling me about ham, I'm like, I think I can go.
There's no websites where to get these yet.
Oh. Well, gee, maybe people
all I know is that after Christmas they're going to be marked down at 75%, and the aisles are still going to be full. Nobody's going to want this shit.
All that's left is...
I'm assuming you won't even have this at stores. I'm assuming this is like special order that you got to order it.
Let's see.
They want to cut their.
I'm telling you, if it comes,
you're not going to sell none of this.
You know what? I'm telling you right now. If it came in some sort of decorative tin.
This is on Archie McPhee's website.
Mm-hmm.
This is something you take to your ex-girlfriend.
It's Archie McPhee's website. We make weird. It's all kinds of weird novelty stuff on their website.
I'm telling you, it's all in the packaging. Because if you had like some really cool packaging with that, and you gave it to somebody, and you brought it for like an event, and you just you ran your phone and you were taping the whole thing the whole way and just watching people's reaction as they're eating the.
You know what would be great is if you go ahead and you had somebody that you used to go out with, and then you tried to bake cookies during Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing? Look, I brought you this tin of candy canes. Can we just start things over? Oh wow!
Seriously.
I mean, it's just like shit.
You know what? Ivan?
Total YouTube shit.
You know what, Ivan? Here's an idea for you.
What?
You know all the people who come and ask you questions and all that stuff when they come to Concrete Jungle and Logan Arcade and they want to ask you questions and they want to do requests and stuff?
They hand them a candy cane?
Yeah.
Here, Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Oh man.
There's too much funny shit we can do with this. You know this, you know?
Oh,
we gotta order some. We gotta order one. Just one. And then all of us should carry
you can order one. I think you'd have to order like a box of them or something.
Well,
That's why I'm saying it would be amusing, you know, if you had the right location to get away with it.
Exactly. We order a box. Mike takes some to Ace. You take some to some ever. I'll take some out on my gigs and stuff. We can have our cameras ready and actually like audio and video of this shit and put it into our page.
The real trick would be is if you did it and you said you were doing a taste test. You said we were testing this new flavor, our new mint flavor. Can you give this a try?
Yeah, we're trying. We're experimenting with a new mystery flavor. We want to know what you think of this mystery flavor we're doing, and then watch people there as they give the lemon lips and the squinty eyes and the what the fuck face.
Yeah, seriously. We should just go out to like Woodfield and do that.
I'll take the KFC donut instead. Thank you.
Yes,
yeah,
I agree.
That'll do.
All right, so this goes right into some, this goes into the banner of continual amusement. Beer drinking Amish men ditch buggy and run as police close in. This is from, of all places, Ohio. The idyllic image of many Americans' harbor of the Amish culture got a sharp edit last week in Turnbull County, Ohio, when police tried to question a couple of fellows about something common everywhere in rural America, only on a warm Saturday night. It was actually Sunday morning after an hour past midnight. The report said that Turnbull County Sheriff's deputies saw two Amish men drinking beer in the back of a buggy as the horseless as a driverless horse trotted down the road. On the roof of the buggy was a 12-pack of Michelob Ultra. When the police searched the buggy, they found a fairly elaborate sound system had been wired in. Ingenious, however, contrary to Amish culture. That's awesome. I want to know what they were playing.
Amish in Paradise.
Okay, I'm looking at this thing. There's a picture of... Jeez, that's a serious sound system. Holy cow. The two men jumped off and ran into the woods when police tried to pull over a buggy at Donnelly and Man Park Roads. The news station reported it will require some explaining in a culture where alcohol is frowned upon and to get the horse and buggy back. Police confiscated the boat. The buggy was towed and the horse was turned over to someone else for care until the owner steps forward. It's noteworthy because it's unusual. The incident illustrates predicament of Amish culture, how in a world driven by technology, wizardry, and a society built on mass consumerism, are they really going to literally keep the youth down on the farm? So, I'm just I want to know. I want to. You know what? See, why did you do that? I want to see the buggy go down the street like banging some sort of Amish music, like as like the bass going boom, boom, boom. You know?
They gotta turn the crank on that phonograph.
Yeah.
They gotta change the cylinder.
Yeah, right. Really. You know, the 12-pack of Michelob Ultra on the top might have given it away. And seriously, if you're gonna get caught and drink a beer, Michelob Ultra, were you that broke? You have enough for a sound system. Come on, man.
Well, it's just the Amish. They might not know much about alcohol. They say it says Ultra. It must be good.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, just one away from Milwaukee's best.
Yeah, really. Or Hams.
Oh my gosh.
Hams is bad. Or Moisture Brow.
Meister Brow.
Meister Brow's bad too. Hey, as long as we're on weird stories about things, since we did Ohio, we need to go to Florida.
Yes, we need the Florida man.
Go to Florida.
Represent.
Because if we Because if you have a Ohio story, it must be topped immediately by a Florida story like this one about the Florida couple that attempted to have sex in a cop car.
Were they busted?
The couple had been arrested for a DUI and allegedly got hot and heavy in the back of the squad car. Florida couple and Florida
baby,
couple.
turns me on.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're drunk enough, sure, why not? I mean, you know what? I'm sure it's somebody's fantasy somewhere.
Officer, you borrow me your handcuffs.
Yeah, seriously. I'm sure that's part of it. A Florida couple was
on.
Okay, let me read the article a little bit here.
Okay, sorry.
On Friday, apparently, a Nassau County Sheriff deputy pulled over two bicyclists who were riding around without their lights on and almost been hit by a vehicle. The officer said both suspects, I'm not going to say names, smelled alcohol and had bloodshot, watery eyes and slurred speech. After one of them failed the sobriety test and declined to do so for others, he was arrested. They were arrested, and both of them were handcuffed in the back of the car. They apparently didn't let that minor detail stop them from appreciating the romance of the moment, because apparently they took off. How do you take off your clothes when you're handcuffed?
If they're handcuffed,
started to have sex.
If they handcuffed to each other.
It doesn't say that. It says they were.
How are they handcuffed? Are they handcuffed like one?
It doesn't say. No, it says it. Well, okay, both were handcuffed in the back of the car. It doesn't say how. When he opened up the door to stop them, the man was naked, and the woman's pants were down with her vaginal area visible. I also observed her bra was halfway off, and her breasts were fully visible. The officer removed the naked man from the car. He knocked the deputy to the ground and ran away before being arrested at a Cold Stone Creamery. Cold Stone Creamery. Now there's a site for the Cold Stone Creamery right there.
That's it.
Naked man running by. Meanwhile, the woman became violent and started kicking at another deputy. Was forced to the ground and stuffed her abrasions to her face. They're charged with the woman's charged with DUI, exposing sexual organs, committing an unnatural and lascivious act, and resisting without violence. Without violence. With violence, I would assume.
Okay.
The man was charged with threat against a public official, committing an unnatural lascivious act, exposing sex orders, and DUI. The man is being held without bail. The woman has like a 12-gram bail. They both have lengthy ramp sheets. Apparently, serving in I don't know whatever they say they're serving, but the part that makes me laugh the hardest is you escaped to run to a Stone Cold Creamery.
Sounds like a good hiding place.
I'm still trying to figure out. I know when I was handcuffed, or handcuffed behind. How do you take your?
Well,
they must not have handcuffed them from behind. There's just no way.
No, they handcuffed them to each other. That's what happened.
But then how did he get away and she didn't?
Well, then they must have handcuffed them separately, but probably not from behind.
Unless when they uncuffed. Well, wait, did they say? They did say that they uncuffed him at one point, didn't they? They did.
I presume that once they're in the squad car, they don't have to be cuffed. I don't know.
It seems odd.
I wasn't there. I'm glad I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's they're both. Yeah. Although they can make a lot of money on Pornhub. So. What do you got, Mike?
Well, we have a News of the Squared follow-up story, and probably the last one of this particular arc.
Uh-oh.
After thousands of people have signed up for a community barbecue outside the home of an Australian vegan.
Oh, we're back to this?
Yes. Who took her neighbors to court because she could smell them grilling fish. The group's organizer has canned the event following reported threats from the woman's legal team.
So they shut it down.
Yep.
Wow.
Scylla Carden, a Perth resident, took her neighbors to court over their constant barbecuing of fish, which generated a smell that she claimed stopped her from enjoying her backyard. The courts ultimately dismissed her case, siding with her neighbors, but news of the lawsuit caused a stir among residents in the capital city of Western Australia. A Facebook group named Community Barbecue for Scylla Carden was created in protest of what organizers called her to attempt to destroy a good old Aussie tradition.
God, that's
Now,
awesome.
despite a disclaimer that the October 19th event would be a peaceful protest, the Facebook page was shut down after some 7,000 people said they were going, and another 16,000 said they were interested.
Oh, wow.
Carden's
Don't they know anything based on what happened with the Area 51 thing?
Yeah, like 100
Only
people
like
showed
100
up.
people show up.
Yeah.
Wow, 7,000 people. Damn, that's a lot of people.
Well, they
Yeah,
said they
as
were.
soon as
Well,
they show up.
yeah. Carden's attorney issued a statement on Facebook warning that they would contact the police if anyone showed up. Any person who seeks to attend Miss Carden's property on Saturday, October 19th, 2019, or at any other time in relation to this event or matter will be referred to the WA police. I guess that's the county or whatever in Perth on ground of trespass. The event was quickly canceled, and event organizer Bailey Manson said it was due to logistics and trespassing concerns.
Boo.
Boo.
As long that woman needs kale candy canes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's a
needs
vegan.
to be
Here,
sent.
eat this.
Yeah, seriously. You know what? Send the ham one.
Yeah.
The ham one.
It's not real ham. It's okay.
It's not real ham. There were no real hams.
Just don't send her the fish one. Oh, the grilling
Yeah.
of fish. It was
Yeah,
awful.
grilling a fish. Oh no.
Well, if she doesn't like
By
fish, you only send her a chicken with donuts.
By the way, I do find it funny that like only 100 people showed up at that thing.
That would be hysterical.
Roswell. That thing
Yeah.
in Roswell, only 100 people showed up, and then only one guy did the Norto run or whatever the hell that thing.
Yeah, there was.
And he
Naruto
caught it
run?
on camera, which is awesome.
During Naruto run.
Yeah, didn't so only one person got arrested out of all that, right?
2 people
Yeah.
were detained, actually. Here's the other follow-up to that. Storm Area 51, about 75 people gathered at the Area 51 gate.
Now, in fairness, there were a lot of people I think that did go to that thing in Vegas where they had the alien.
Yeah, the Storm Area
Festival.
51 invitation spawned festivals in the tiny Nevada towns of Rachel and Hico, nearest the military base, and a more than 2-hour drive from Las Vegas. Lincoln County Sheriff Kerry Lee estimated late Thursday that about 1,500 people had gathered at the festival sites and said more than 150 people had made the rugged trip several additional miles on bone-rattling dirt roads to get within selfie distance of the gates. An AP photographer said it wasn't immediately clear if a woman who had begun ducking under a gate and a man who urinated nearby were arrested after the crowd...
Why would you urinate on the Area 51 gate?
Because you're
That's
drunk,
just
man.
You're dumb. Unless the plan is that he gets inside because they have to arrest him so that he gets to see. Now that's ingenious.
Millions of people had responded to a June internet post calling for people to run into the remote U.S. Air Force test site that had long been the focus of UFO conspiracy theories. It's public land, the sheriff said. They're allowed to go to the gate as long as they don't cross the boundary.
I would have seen a whole bunch of those people do that freaking stupid run and think they could actually do it and not get mowed.
What a bunch of popes.
I was like, it's like whoever thought. It's like, really?
Why? Oh my god.
I'm just like, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
all
would...
those events that they have in Chicago at the Bean that aren't real events that everybody's like,
Right.
like that are like the joke events, like eat Cheetos at the Bean,
Right,
or
or
launch the Bean
into whatever.
yeah,
Launch the bean into space.
right, or
Yeah.
a net or something or something.
Take the bean to Lake Michigan and ride it.
Throw it into
Yeah.
Lake Michigan event, yeah.
Yeah.
This
Local-
story actually comes from our friend Mike Boyle.
Hey,
Mr.
I like
B.
that guy. He's a good friend of mine.
He's a good
Yeah,
guy.
he's
He's
a
a
great
good guy.
dude.
He's nobody like Mike Edwin, but he's a good guy anyway. Deadly super mosquitoes that are even tougher, accidentally created by scientists after buckling experiment. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Now we got mosquitoes we can't even kill.
Right. Now, in fairness, this is from the Sun UK, so tread lightly. Tread lightly. According to new research, the plan to create genetically hacked mosquitoes that have offspring which die immediately has spectacularly backfired, and now scientists don't know what will happen next. The modified mosquitoes were released, and of course, all places you should release them, in Brazil, and we're supposed to mix with the local population and decrease the numbers that and their weak offspring genetics. Although the wild population did plummet for a short while, 18 months later it was right back up again. This is most concerning because scientists think that a new super mosquito have properties that might make them harder to kill.
Oh my
According
God.
to the Journal of the Nature Scientific Reports. See,
life
this is,
finds a way.
God, you know,
Why?
I swear to God.
Why do we leave the stuff like this in the hands of mortals? You know, it's like why?
Why would you?
Why would you think of that?
I'm telling you, we are going to kill ourselves. That's what's going to happen.
We're already killing ourselves, Chuck.
Well,
Come on. Look at all the bullshit that's going on.
It's like everybody's complaining about the environment. No, that's not how we're going to die. We're going to die because someone's going to do something dumb, like create killer super mosquitoes.
Attack of the killer mosquitoes.
Why do we want to have dinosaurs? There are 5 movies that can prove to you why this is a bad
idea to mess with Mother Nature.
Bad idea. Or, you even have Elon Musk, like, maybe full-on automated AIs that actually have real life are a bad idea. And people are like, nope, we got to keep going. Okay.
You would have thought they would learn from cloning. It's like, really? Come on.
I'm telling you.
Oh, that cloning shit's happening in China.
Yeah.
Is it?
I think, yeah. We know they're cloning.
Anyway, there's more to this, blah, 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 yakety schmackety. But they created super mosquitoes. Good job, guys. Thanks.
Yep.
Which means
thanks for that shit.
It'll be a giant mosquito. We'll have to wait for Godzilla to kill it.
Yeah. Which
we have to summon him from the ocean.
There's that. So what else you got, Mike?
Put it this way: here comes the killer mosquito. I'm going to try to kill it with Raid. He'll take the can and hit me in the head with it.
Here's another one from Scott.
God.
California man makes fake threats to avoid going to a county fair with his parents. A California man who didn't want to go to the Los Angeles County Fair with his parents allegedly emailed threats that he was going to shoot up the fair in an attempt to avoid making the trip. Okay. This is okay.
What?
This dude is not cool. Okay. According to the Ponoma police chief, the suspect, identified as Eric Villasenor, age 22, sent an email Friday afternoon to staff where the Los Angeles County Fair is being hosted this year. He was supposed to go with the fair with his parents on Saturday, but didn't want to go, so he sent an email. Though he's 22, he felt that he was inappropriate to send this threat, and we believe it was the intent that would spark some chaos and commotion. He said that a news conference, the police chief said at a conference on Saturday, it would be captured by the media, and they could use that as an excuse to his parents not to go to the fair. Kind of a crazy thing, but that's what we have learned. Fair staff immediately reported the threat to the police, who worked with the FBI to track the emailed threats back to his place of residence in Sylmar, where officers were sent to confront him. Officers responded to the place of residence where he admitted to the hoax. He made the threat because he didn't want to attend the fair with his parents on Sunday. He'd hoped the chaos and confusion would deter his parents from taking him to the fair, which is being held. The department would be seeking reimbursement for resources spent on the investigation. He was arrested on suspicion of making a false threat and booked to the Ponoma County Jail with bail set at $20,000.
Yeah, he needs to go into the part of the jail where he gets his ass beat. That's stupid.
Yeah, not cool. In this day and age, with all these terrible events.
With all the threats that are going around, with all the things that are happening.
On a lighter note, speaking of threatening events, now this one, when I first heard of this, I was like, oh my god, holy shit, this is terrible. Now, if you live in the Chicago area, we have a mall out in the suburbs called Woodfield Mall.
Oh, we're going here? Okay.
We're going there. A man was taken into custody Friday afternoon after a car drove through Woodfield Mall, causing chaos throughout the shopping center.
Yeah, that was my first reaction. Lots of space in this mall.
Yeah. Pier 1 Imports. This place has got everything.
Yeah, new Chevrolets are in.
Police were on the scene at the Schaumburg Mall around 2:30 p.m. on Friday after witnesses said a black SUV drove through Sears. The Schaumburg Police Department in a statement said the car drove through the mall entrance near the Sears and Rainforest Cafe. The car drove through the mall common area before finally stopping in the mall's center court. The driver of the car and the only person who was inside the vehicle was identified as a 22-year-old man. His name has not been released pending charges. The man was detained by mall patrons, including 2 off-duty police officers. Police then arrived on the scene, and he was taken into custody. In a news conference late Friday, Schaumburg police said the incident was not an act of terrorism, and it was not pre-planned.
Yeah, I wonder if he's related to the other idiot who tried to threaten an amusement park. I mean, really?
They're the same age. They're both 22-year-old dudes.
Yeah. There's a trend here, man.
Police confirmed the driver was walking inside the mall early in the afternoon before the incident. Police said there was a possibility the man was experiencing a medical issue. Investigating the situation further, police said 3 people were taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening medical issues. The injuries were not a result of the car hitting anyone. The fire department treated an additional 4 people on the scene, all of whom refused transport to the hospital. Police said all injuries were very minor, so thank goodness. And so yeah, that's the thing. People like posting on videos on Twitter saying this guy is maybe a shooter, but no, it's just somebody who just wanted to do some window shopping through his car window. So.
Well, yeah, but he just thought that he was in the Blues Brothers movie. He wanted to relive the moment. Wow, that was cool. I saw the Blues Brother.
I can't remember what the guy says in the video when I'm watching the video, but he says something funny at the end, the guy who's actually taking the video, and I can't remember what it was. But I was dying of laughter when I heard him talking about it. But yeah.
Let's see if there's any video here. Okay, here's Witness Described.
Yeah, there's a video.
Okay, Witness Described. Let's play a bit of this here.
See if we get.
With its wide
of course, there's an
ad.
Freaking
ad. No ads.
Ads are dumb.
Okay. Now 2 people were injured after that SUV drove through the Woodfield Mall. We're joined now by Latif Faruqi on the phone.
All right, this is a 6-minute video. We're not going to do any of this.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Edit
there's one on. Hold on. There's one on my page somewhere.
Okay.
Well, go straight to the ad.
Find it.
Another freaking ad.
Wide variety of delicious
Warning, video below contains profanity. Okay, I'm not doing this. I don't have time to... What, I'm going to research this? No, I'm not.
Olé!
Olé.
I went to a mall.
The bullfighter with the SUV was the bull.
Yeah. Olé!
Oh my God.
Matador. Didn't we have a... Yeah, we had a story, Matador. A guy was... got his family jewels punctured by the bull.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. I remember that. He deserved that.
Yeah.
All right. Next story, Jeff.
Well, this one actually goes back to. This one actually is kind of near and dear to my heart. So there was a truck on the way in Atlanta on Interstate 75, and it had a small accident. That accident resulted in the largest dice roll in the history of mankind.
Okay.
The truck was full of 6-sided dice. 216,000 to be exact.
Wow. The D&D players converged onto the expressway.
Yeah, well, not exactly. According to Trivium Studios community manager speaking to the truck was carrying 3 pallets of Chessex 6-sided gaming dice for an unannounced tabletop game. Apparently, they were going to add them to the game, the actual game.
Okay.
And then And so approximately half of the truck's load wound up strewn across the busy highway on that afternoon. Emergency units helped their employees clean up the mess using brooms and shovels to salvage what they could. While losing a substantial amount of the pricey dice isn't great, the representative of the company says which it plans to unveil the game associated with all the dice to plan early in 2020, maintains a positive attitude. Though unfortunately it happened, nobody got hurt, and we now own the unofficial world record for the largest dice roll in history. Considering the average, and here's what they're figuring it as. Considering the average roll of a 2 6-siders is around a 7, and approximately 216,000 dice were rolled, Trivium estimates the roll totaled 7,560,000.
Wow.
The good news is the truck was undamaged because apparently it made its saving throw.
Yeah.
Wow.
You didn't crap out.
Did anybody get flat tires from rolling over the dice?
I have no idea. I didn't really watch the video, but it is everywhere.
Now, Jeff, do you have numbered D6s or they have the dots?
I think I have both.
I use dots.
I think I do have both.
When I used to play, I had numbered D6s.
No, I just use the dots. If I roll D6, I just have the ones with the dots.
Usually I have the ones with the dots. And it looks like from the picture that most of these were the ones with the dots.
Okay.
I mean, it's funny because there's the little bags of dice packets all over the place too. It's awesome. I mean, there's a part of me where I'm just kind of like sitting there and I'm like, okay, roll initiative. That's the best initiative roll you ever had. I'm telling you right now,
5 million?
My first reaction is like, okay, roll the hit. I've hit. Can I use some of that for damage? Can I use some of that for damage, please?
Billions of hit points just hit the expressway.
Yeah, seriously.
I think there's a picture you posted earlier this week. I said, I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I'm casting magic missile.
No, fireball.
Fireball.
Fireball. I've had that done to me, too. I'm casting fireball. You know we're all in the room. Did I care if you were all in the room? You're in the room, too. Yeah, I know.
Wipe everything out,
We only spent 10 real years getting all these magic items, and now we're about to lose them all, asshole. Jackass.
Roll to see if the candy cane is peppermint or kale.
Oh.
Okay, and I throw the dice, and I threw a 4.
You can't roll. We got a restraining order from the woman in Perth, Australia.
Right.
Okay, what else you got, Mike?
Give me a second. Bring it up. Unless you got one ready on the go.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Go.
As a matter of fact, we go back to Florida, but at least this time. Hey, Ivan, are you looking for a job?
Not currently, but why?
Oh, because I have a possible job for you.
Okay.
Florida is looking to hire 50 brave souls to hunt pythons.
Yeah.
Ivan Rivera, Python Hunter. Yeah, man.
The South Florida Water Management District is looking for a few dozen civic-minded people to join its Python elimination program.
Lovely.
It works exactly as you think it would. Authorized citizens known as Python Ruble agents are paid by the hour to track and humanely dispatch pythons and other invasive and environmentally dangerous snake species. Apparently, there are bonuses to be had as well. The program pays extra for snakes measuring more than 4 feet, or for snakes that were sent to the afterlife while guarding snake eggs. This program was put into play. This program was started in 2017 to curb the area's non-native Burmese python population, which it's unfortunate the big old nope ropes are being marked for death, but they do more harm than good. This is through the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. That apparently the Burmese python, native of Asia, is an invasive species which negatively impacts native wildlife in and around the Everglades ecosystem in South Florida. This goes back. Here's the number that's scary.
What's that?
Well, here's a couple numbers that are scary. Typically, pythons are 6 to 10 feet long, which means lots of bonuses.
Shit.
Or are capable of climbing. Silly me. What was I thinking? I would never climb on anything. And since the program began, 2,500 pythons have been destroyed.
Wow.
Yep,
Wow.
we're sending
That's
Ivan. Ivan, you're this is News of the
Toot, toot.
Squared exclusive bonus content. We'll send video
let's see.
video on
Wait,
the
wait,
Facebook
here.
page of Ivan hunting
there
pythons.
are some requirements. You
Yeah,
must
man.
have-
Here I
you
am.
must
I'm
have
out
your-
here. I'm out here about to bag me a python and a
Yeah, really. You have to be 18. You have to have all your IDs and documentation must be in order, and you have.
I'm
I love how
18.
this. Here's
Or-
the best part. And have no recent criminal history.
Well,
Well,
define recent.
Yeah,
I was
define recent.
last month. I was having relations with my girlfriend in the back of the squad car.
Yeah, seriously.
And I escaped to a coastal debris.
So, I mean, but in fairness, considering all the wacky crap that goes on in Florida, why are we not shocked about the fact that it only says recent history? Recent criminal history.
Because it rampant in Florida, man.
Yeah, seriously. So
Rampant Florida,
they
man.
do give you now, Ivan. They do give you a GPS tracking app
Oh,
to
love
log
it.
their time spent hunting and tracking the creatures on public land. And here's the most important thing: can
Yeah.
firearms be used to remove the pythons?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Nice.
Get to pop off their heads with some shellage.
I swear to
Shellage.
God.
Shellage.
What? Seriously, when you're done with that, what do you? There's There's something to put on your resume. Right there.
Yeah.
I know how to kill pythons.
I kill pythons for a living.
Forget
Just-
living. I killed pythons for a while. I mean, who's not? First of all, are you letting that guy in your building to
No.
interview? Hell no. I'm
No.
not letting that person anywhere near the building because God forbid something goes wrong. It's like he knows things he shouldn't. We don't want him to. No. Yeah,
No, I don't think so. No.
No, that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
So what else you got, Mike?
Well, still on Florida. This isn't a
Oh,
Florida
goody.
man.
Man.
No Florida python. We're still on that manner of beast, though. Out of ABC7, out of Cape Coral, Florida, a raccoon went for a wild ride on top of a Wonder Bread delivery truck.
Okay.
WBBH TV released a 911 call about an incident from Cape Coral about how drivers saying 911 was your emergency. I didn't know who to call, but I have a raccoon on top of my bread truck, and everyone has been beeping me on the street telling me you've got something up there. Something up, but it was I got out of the truck and I look up and there's a raccoon up there.
And it says, I'm hungry.
He says, he's scared. I didn't know who to call. So 911, I've got a raccoon on top of my bread truck. By the time the driver pulled his Wonder Bread truck over at a fast food restaurant, the raccoon had already hung on for 10 miles at a maximum speed of over 50 miles an hour.
Wow.
So attempts by police
Jeez.
and the driver to back the delivery truck into a tree to shake the stowaway loose didn't work. In the end, the raccoon held on all the way back to headquarters in North Fort Myers. His round-trip mileage was about 16 miles.
Wow. There has to be a record somewhere.
Brian Bowman, the spokesman for the Clinic for the Rehabilitation of Wildlife, said the animal probably felt scared and cornered, so that's probably why it didn't want to come off the truck. The driver and police aren't sure where the raccoon went, but the company confirms it finally left the top of the bread truck.
Oh, that's good.
So happy ending. Raccoon
Happy ending
escapes
to the moon.
a wild ride.
As
As far as we know, did not have a tree with him. Tried to back into a tree, it didn't do anything. So,
Well, do you think he was related to the squirrel, the morphine squirrel or whatever the
meth
squirrel was?
squirrel? No.
That's squirrel, no. Animals Gone Wild. Now that's a show.
At least the bread truck didn't drive into Woodfield Mall, so there's a squirrel on top with a raccoon on top of it.
Yeah. That's a show waiting to happen. You know, Animals Gone Wild, man.
Doesn't it exist already?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Hey, I got one more, Jeff. But you got any more?
Oh, I got stuff.
All right, cool.
From TMZ. Oh God, I don't even know where to go. Porn star Bridget the Midget arrested for allegedly stabbing boyfriend.
Oh my gosh, really stuck it to him, huh?
Yeah,
in the kneecaps, or?
I thought that's where that happened.
In the kneecaps.
Apparently, well, there's an update here. It says Bridget went ballistic on her boyfriend during arguments that led to her stabbing him, dropping countless F-bombs, vulgar insults before threatening, "I will fuck you up." Bridget is supposedly still in jail, but saw a judge and will be released. We're told that she's ordered to stay away from the victim. Let's find out a little bit more about this. Bridget Powers, who goes by Bridget the Midget in her movies, got into a nasty fight and ended with handcuffs and her boyfriend with a stab wound in the leg. Yes, that makes sense. Law enforcement sources say they were called to the home in Vegas on an early Wednesday morning when the neighborhood screaming and breaking glass. When the officer arrived, they made contact with Powers and discovered she and her boyfriend had just finished a vicious spat. Cops say Powers stabbed him in the leg during the fight. He was transported to a local hospital for non-threatening injuries. Unclear if the injury is below or above the knee. Doesn't say exactly what happened or why. I just thought it was kind of funny that apparently Bridget the Midget is
still pissed off after all these years.
Well. I just thought it was kind of amusing because it's like, okay, it's Bridget the Midget. It's like stab him in the leg. Well, of course it stabbed him in the leg.
It's stab him in the leg.
Well, later on, when she gets out, we can have a proper cage match at the Bang Bros Center.
Yeah, seriously. With,
BBC.
Yeah, the BBC. Yeah, seriously. Oh, I would listen to that part of the show. I think.
Yeah, I finally got Ivan to listen to through Google Podcasts.
The BBC. Yeah, that's dope. As long as we're on wacky stories like this. This is from, where is this? Providence Journal. So this is Providence, Rhode Island. Man attacks gazebo with samurai sword.
What?
Attacked a gazebo.
Yes.
With a samurai sword.
Was charged with vandalism, disorderly conduct for having a prohibited weapon after police said he attacked his gazebo in a city park with a samurai sword.
What the fuck is this Don Quixote shit, man?
Andrew Rich, 37, was arrested just before noon in a park where officers said he was striking two posts of the gazebo with his sword, according to Lieutenant Michael Forte. The police also arrested Jessica Cole on disorderly conduct, having prohibited the weapon, which they said was a prohibited weapon. They said it was a police-style baton. Police were initially dispatched on the call of two people sword fighting in the park.
Okay.
You know, there are jokes all over the place in Dungeons and Dragons about magic missiling the gazebo and magic missiling the darkness and all this stuff.
I attack the darkness.
Yeah, I attack the darkness. You know, there's all kinds of... Seriously, there have been jokes for years about attacking gazebos in role-playing games, and now it's true. Someone really did it.
It happened.
I think I, even in a role-playing game at one point, has attacked a gazebo. But now people are taking this... See, this is what happens when you do the live-action role-play. It gets a little too far.
People start to believe that.
Mike, this is a quick one. Apparently there was I gotta find out where this was. I got this one off of WGN TV. Ohio. Someone stole an air conditioning unit from the Akron Alliance Fellowship Church. And that's not the funny part. The funny part is what Pastor Gus Brown wrote for a message on his little board, which said, "Whoever stole our AC unit, keep it. It's hot where you're going."
Good point.
In fairness, apparently it was a brand new unit they had just put in. They hadn't even made the first payment. It had only been a few days. It was $3,500 worth of stuff. But it's funny because it is awesome that that's the message he put out there.
You can keep it because it's hot where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funny part is apparently the church plans on holding offering plates to get any AC fund. What else you got, Mike?
I got one more story. Now, this is another food-themed event. This is just came in from Scott. Now, today, the day we're recording, is the first day of autumn, and with the coming of the season comes the craving for the flavor of pumpkin spice. This year, you can find the fall flavor in a can of Spam.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. I don't think that's real.
Limited edition product pumpkin spice Spam introduced by Hormel Food Corporation in August is now on sale.
No.
True to the brand's roots, Spam Pumpkin Spice combines deliciousness with creativity, allowing the latest variety to be incorporated into a number of dishes, from on-trend brunch recipes to an easy pick-me-up snack. The company said in a statement released in August, the new flavor is available for purchase at Spam.com and Walmart.com.
No.
Hold on. Don't way. Is this...
No.
This is legit. I'm on Walmart's website. And
I'm on Spam's website. God damn it! Really?
I didn't know Spam had their own website.
Really?
Spam.
They got a website?
Spam.com.
What do they do? You got like recipes?
Yes, they do. They do have recipes. Would you like me to go through the recipes while I'm here? They have a museum? Wait a minute, stop.
Oh, you have a
They
Spam
have a
museum.
Yeah.
Well,
There's a real museum?
Well, wasn't Spam foodstuffs for World War II? Wasn't it? That's where the origin of that was?
Hold on. Wait, stop. We gotta go back. Hold on a second. There's a Spam museum.
Wow.
Where is this? Austin, Minnesota. Really? It's not. It's and of course it's in the middle of nowhere. It should be in the middle of nowhere. It's like in between Madison and Minneapolis and Sioux Falls. That's gotta be Iowa, right? I guess Sioux Falls, Iowa. Can't be Minnesota, right? Okay. There's even like there's here, ready? In front of the building is a guy. Is a statue, bronze statue of a guy behind two pigs.
Okay.
What could you possibly learn? There's cookbooks. There's the history of Spam. They have Spam ambassadors. What the?
Oh my gosh.
Be knighted. We're proud to represent Noble Food Fellows. Who
There's a
Free
ploy.
guided tours are available every hour, every day, every Saturday and Sunday at any time by request. 30 minutes? 30 minutes? Get that. They can't be 30 minutes worth. Do you at least get it? I don't even know if I want a sample.
Yeah. My dad used to eat Spam. He loved Spam.
Wait, hold on.
Let's not chop it up. I love Spam. I've made Spam sandwiches before. I love Spam. But
wait, hold on. This gets more amusing. Restaurants serving Spam and things to do and see in Austin. Hold on.
Is that right of the largest ball of twine in Minnesota?
I'm not sure where exactly it is. My God, look at all the places that are nearby that serve Spam.
Wow. Okay.
Culver's has Spam?
Ew.
Culver has a Spam burger?
Apparently so. Well, at least here they do. Perkins has Spam.
Well, I could
Godfather's Pizza.
I could do a Spam burger I could do a Spam burger from Culver's. I could do that.
Why would you want to? If I was at the coffee house on Main, that's definitely what I want. I need Spam. Or the Pizza Ranch. Why do you need Spam and Pizza Ranch?
Okay.
Or a Dusty's Bar and Lounge. Why would you want spam there?
Well, at least you got
Or wait, Japan Panda. What is this, like Panda Express, except it's a different... No. This is...
It's wrong.
Wait, check our...
all this chud.
Wait, there's an event schedule. Hold on. Oh, wait, no, it only goes to August. To July. We missed all the events for the year. Including the Classic Car Show. Does it include spam in the Classic Cars?
The Spam-mobile.
Oh, my God.
And then, of course, they're running the movie Spam-A-Lot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's actually in there. There's a whole bunch of Spam-A-Lot stuff in there, actually, from the musical.
Guys, I got to step out for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. This is Spam.
Damn, good Lord.
I mean, like I said, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Spam, but when you start adding pumpkin spice to every fucking thing, I mean, when did pumpkin spice become a thing?
I mean, you know, she's not even a member of the Spice Girls. I don't understand.
Yeah.
And I'm going to continue to make that joke, and I don't care.
Well, you know what? And I'll take it. And I'll take it because it's good, because it's proper, because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's a thing.
Yeah, yes. I remember there used to be a thing. I don't know if it's real or not.
What's that?
Anymore. I remember a guy who I knew from high school who told me about something called the Spam Liberation Front, where their entire point was to free all spam from its canned imprisonments.
Okay, that sounds wacky.
It kind of is. I didn't, you know.
So what are you going to do with a whole bunch of open cans of spam?
Well, it was more of a joke thing.
Yeah,
people ever. Just the whole concept of the Spam Liberation Front.
It sounds as valid. It sounds as valid as the guy, you know, who had the samurai knife knocking down the gazebo. You know.
Yeah. Well, actually, that'd be interesting.
Well, I'd like to see.
He was knocking it down because he had eaten too much spam.
Spam overload. You know.
We're stalling for Mike.
Yeah.
Stalling for Mike. We can get moving. What do we got? Let's see.
What do we got?
What's next? Sean Bean, who apparently is part of the Game of Thrones, or he played on Game of Thrones. Apparently, Ivan, he is so tired of dying in his roles, he's now rejecting roles where he gets killed.
Can you blame him? I got 5 minutes. I got 5 minutes in this episode. I got 10 minutes in this episode. I got 2 minutes in this episode.
Well, I can't imagine I imagine he was in it a little longer than that.
I was just being facetious.
I don't know. I don't know. Hold on a second. So let's see. According to this, okay, so
sounds like Kenny.
So according to this, so between he was beheaded in Game of Thrones. Spoilers. Well, too late now. Shot with arrows in Lord of the Rings, and let's not forget he was torn to pieces by horses in Black Death. But all of that dying has taken its toll on Bean, who has died 21 bloody deaths in an incredible 23-year career as an actor.
Well, so, if it's a show you're dying to see, there you go.
At 60, he has had a change of heart. He's refusing to play roles in which his character dies. From the actor himself, I have turned stuff down. I've said they know my character's going to die because I'm in it. I just had to cut that out and start surviving. Otherwise, it was all been predictable. I did do one job, and they said, we're going to kill you. And I was like, oh, no. And then they said, well, can we injure you badly? And I was like, okay, as long as I stay alive this time. I've played a lot of baddies, and they were great, but they weren't very fulfilling, and I always died.
You don't even get to stay in the whole movie.
or series, yeah.
Yeah, the series.
Exactly.
Sean was more comfortable with playing characters who ended up dead and buried until he was handed the iconic role of Ned Stark in Game of Thrones. Ned was killed in the
penultimate
episode of the first series, which made up 10 episodes in 2011. Now of course we know Game of Thrones is the huge hit has evolved into, and transforming the likes of Maisie Williams and Sophie Turner into megastars. Well, Sean watched at home. Quote, I read the Game of Thrones books, and they said to me, you do die in this, but it's near the end of the series. And I was like, oh, yeah, fair enough. So they made it clear to me at the time I was going to die, and I thought, I don't want to get stuck in one of those series that lasts 7 years. But I wish I had gotten stuck now. But it is very clear what George R.R. Martin wanted to happen to Ned, and it did. His character's death sparked a social media campaign, Don't Kill Sean Bean, in 2014, after fans were sick of seeing him end up 6 feet under. Fortunately, Sean was able to breathe a sigh of relief when he was offered the role of Douglas Bennett in the BBC One war drama World on Fire.
So he's bird now.
This article then goes into all the different times he's been killed in all the different movies. And if you want to read it, it's on the Squares of the Round Table page. I'm not going through them all, but some of them include such films as Patriot Games, GoldenEye, Lord of the Rings.
What a career!
The Island. And obviously Game of Thrones.
Well, he may die in many forms of media, but he will live on forever as the one does not simply walk into meme.
No, he just keeps on dying.
Yeah, I feel like this next story I feel like we've done, or there's something similar. Elderly couple sued for blasting Iron Maiden too loud.
We had a similar story a few
stories
months ago. No, it's a couple.
Like,
the elderly couple escaped to go to a heavy metal festival.
I wonder if it's the same couple.
Well, maybe.
It's funny because it says Stockholm, Sweden. Weren't they in?
I think they were in Germany.
Europe?
I think they were in Germany.
Maybe they escaped to go to Germany. Okay, well, according to this, the couple used the English heavy metal band's music to take revenge on a new couple that moved into the neighborhood. Other neighbors say the issue started in October when the new neighbors arrived and their sex life was too loud. Apparently, the new couple would go at it all night, and this is just a reminder, this is a retirement community. Respect. However, the unnamed couple, 81 and 71, were having none of it and decided to make more noise by turning up the dial on their stereo. I love how they spell stereo. STERIO. Great. Way to go. And chucking on some maiden. It got so bad that police were called and had to force their entrance into the house while Afraid to Shoot Strangers was playing. Thankfully, no shots were fired. Police reportedly charged the couple with harassment, and the lawsuit was later dropped.
Shit. You guys are too loud.
Well, then, you know what? If someone's that loud on the sex, I understand. Let's see what else we got. We got two more. I got two more, Mike.
All right.
This one, oh boy, here we go. The world's first vagina museum will open in London in November.
Okay.
Field trip.
Squares field trip.
There we go. I'm bringing my camera.
The first museum in the world solely dedicated to vagina opened in London in November after a crowdfunding campaign raised about $62,000.
Wow.
The Vagina Museum will educate visitors about vulvas and vaginas while challenging the prevailing stigma surrounding them, development and marketing manager Zoe Williams told CNN.
Okay.
They have a development and okay. The founder, Florence Schechter, developed the concept for
Florence Sphincter?
Florence Sphincter?
Schechter. Not Sphincter. Stop it. This is going to be hard enough to do it as it is. Developed the concept of the Vagina Museum after discovering a museum dedicated to penises in Iceland. So I bet that shrivels up. The Icelandic Phallological Museum. There's a phallus museum? Good Lord, we really need to look into these things. Now I really want to go.
Now the phallus museums have stiff competition for the vagina museum.
Yeah, really, seriously, but no counterpart for vaginas. And thankfully, I'm glad for this idea. So Schechter and her team subsequently launched a campaign on crowdfunder, initially aiming to raise £300,000 as the world's first brick and mortar museum dedicated to vaginas, vulvas, and genealogical anatomy. We didn't quite know what to expect in terms of interest. We were delighted when we raised about $62,000 or £50,000. It will open on November 16th in a temporary location in London's Camden Market with an exhibition entitled Muff Busters, Vagina Myths and How to Fight Them. The exhibition will challenge pervasive myths about vagina and vulva, such as vaginas and vulvas need to be cleaned through the use of bespoke feminine cleaning products. However, the vagina is completely self-cleaning. I'm sorry, I don't buy that.
No, the vagina is not self-cleaning.
No, sorry.
You just set the dial to 500 degrees and leave it alone for 45 minutes, right?
Is
that,
yeah, watch it bake to a golden brown.
No?
Oh, that's just wrong.
Just set the... That's how my oven self-cleans.
There's supposedly comedy and theater events, craft workshops, educational talks.
The vagina monologue. The vagina monologue is going to make an appearance.
To help raise funds for a permanent location, the museum's mission statement asserts that it will also act as a forum for feminism, women's rights, the LGBT and community, and the intersex community, and challenge heteronormative and something behavior. I don't know, and promote. They're going to promote a lot of stuff. Quote: We want to give everyone the confidence to talk about a perfectly normal part of the anatomy. The Eve appeal found that 65% of young women and girls in the UK struggle with the words vagina and vulva. Well, I don't know. As I said, here's the thing. I have a suggestion for them for something.
Well, here's something we can put our fingers in.
I have a suggestion for them. They need a maze. They need a maze because it's the hunt for the clitoris.
It's a good theme for a corn maze this fall.
A corn maze.
I've been holding that for a week because I'm like, I was trying to get through the whole thing before I threw that joke in there because it's like, I'm all for this stuff. I seriously am. I think it's great. I am pro-vagina. I've always been pro-vagina.
Well,
This is phenomenal. There is a part of me though that I'm fascinated to know what happens at the Icelandic Phallic Museum. Phallological. Yeah, something museum. Do we really want to look this up now? I don't really want to look this up now.
No, that just pisses me off.
Really? Really? I'm telling you, they need to have something about a maze to find the clitoris, and men must be required to use it.
Corn maze to find the clitoris in order to find.
That should be the requirement for all men who want to get into. Yeah, there we go. Here it is. Ready? Men who go through the maze and find the clitoris are allowed to come in at half price.
Men who find the clitoris and ends up bringing something from their journey get in for free.
I don't want to go that far. I'm not going in that far. Final story of the day. The adult version. Have you ever seen those little type cars? You know, the one, the
Oh,
one with
the red and yellow one.
top.
Yeah.
they had little plastic cars that they.
Yeah,
had
well,
when
guess
we-
what? Someone built one for real and goes up to 70 miles an hour.
Oh my gosh!
And there's a picture of it. It's awesome.
Okay.
It's on the Squares the Round Table Facebook page.
Yes, it is definitely there. They noticed how they noticed how similar I'm going to pronounce this horribly. A Daewoo Matisse looked to a cozy coupe, and they decided to completely transform it. It took 1,000 hours and almost $5,000 to build it, compared to the one for the kids that's about $50. The car even gained a ton of attention as it's landing itself on the Guinness World Records certification. Yeah, apparently this thing can go 70 miles an hour. And it's funny, there's a picture of it on the road. It's awesome. This
That's cool.
You know what?
What?
You know what? The next time something wacky happens in Florida or something like this, I think all of them have to be required to drive this car.
That's the kind of car you drive into Woodfield Mall.
Yeah.
Yep.
that would be that.
Or try to make love in the back seat of it, while you're handcuffed.
Yeah, seriously.
Or if there's a raccoon on top of it.
Yeah, seriously. That's while handing out kale candy canes and
Kale candy canes.
now imagine
pumpkin spice
driving. Now think about this. Imagine driving.
There's a promotion.
Imagine driving through the KFC to go get that sandwich in this. Could you imagine that? People
that would
be like,
form.
what the hell?
But that's awesome, though.
I know. It's still funny.
Or you pull up to the entrance to the Vagina Museum.
Oh,
and drive.
God.
Or go through the corn maze to try to find the clitoris.
I was going to say, excuse me, I'm looking for the clitoris. Hello? Anybody?
The corn maze is over there, sir.
I bet Bridget the Midget has no problem finding the clitoris. Well,
Unless, of course, she stabs you.
yeah. Yeah, and apparently the guy who lives, apparently the couple that lives next to the people who play Iron Maiden know where it is, so, they're up all night. And it's probably the same place where whoever took the church's AC unit, and we'll have instead of having the guy with the samurai sword attack the gazebo, we'll have them attack him.
But
So
if you
there
go, but if you go in the wrong direction in the corn maze, you'll end up hanging out with a whole bunch of pythons.
Well, I'll tell you right now, we're gonna roll for initiative. So, with that,
that is the news of the square.
Squared.
Squared.
square dot.
19th one, Ivan. Maybe you'd figure it out.
Now, if you excuse me, we're all gonna get raid to deal with the deadly super mosquitoes that we've created.
That's when it'll kill us first.
And as long as you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, before we go, we need a race between the Amish buggy with the booming bass box
And the kid car.
and the other car. We need
Little Tice
that.
car.
Yeah.
Little tight car. Yep.
There we go.
Folks, thanks for joining us here at News of the Squared. Jared Ivan, Jeff, and Mike.
Yo.
We'll catch up with you at where we can catch us there, Mike.
We're on Instagram and Twitter at SOTRT Podcast. We're on YouTube. Click the bell, subscribe, your new episodes drop. We're on Podbean. We're on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts as well. We're on Facebook. Shout out to Scott for all these crazy news stories you've been sending to us constantly. We appreciate your efforts. And email us at sotrtpodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you. And we'll catch up with you next time.